What's up, everybody? It's time for your dose of top shelf cannabis news. This is the Chronic News. I'm your co-host, Buzz. Don't even start with me. Today's big news, too. We got Jay-Z's company, Monogram, is really causing a big controversy with his labeling.
And what's going on, everybody? I'm Therin Miller. I'm the other co-host here at the Chronic News. And big California company, Eaze, doesn't have it so easy right now as they are going to trial for money laundering. So stay tuned, and let's get into the Chronic News. What's going on, everybody?
Welcome back.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this. So, man, it's going to be a good week.
Every week's getting better and better, so...
Every week.
I'm excited.
The stories are getting better.
Good stories. And we haven't heard anything from South Dakota.
I know. South Dakota.
First 2 weeks.
You have
love
stayed
you
out
guys.
of the news.
Keep it up.
Yes, you've stayed out of the news. You're doing well. You're doing well. Keep it up.
And this first one's a good one for the whole country.
Yeah, this is a win-win for everybody. That is green. And so the U.S. cannabis sales hit a record of $17.5 billion of marijuana sales. Yep. That's more than ever before.
Yep.
And the cool thing about that is there's 15 states that are allowed adult use and 35 that allow medical sales. And between those states, it was $17.5 billion. Yeah. Now, what are the statistics? Remind me, isn't it something like $17 billion a year is used to fight marijuana convictions and the war on drugs and the war on... Yeah. So, that's a... Maybe we should think about reversing some things here. Yeah. So if we made $17.5 billion, but we stopped fighting it, that would save another $17 billion people.
Whoa.
Golly. We could be doing a lot here.
But then what? We wouldn't have
corporate
jail systems.
Well, yeah, that's right.
How would they make money?
So, really, the biggest thing is coronavirus has done a lot of good for some industries, being one of them being the marijuana
cannabis,
industry.
For sure. Yeah.
And so, 2020 was a big breakout year for anybody in the cannabis industry. If you were in the cannabis industry, you did pretty decently well if you knew how to run business.
Mm-hmm. We were mandatory workers, so they didn't get to stay home.
Essential workers.
Essential.
Yeah, and I agree that if you're in the marijuana industry, you are an essential worker. Mm-hmm. So the cool thing about this is, there's a lot of states like Oregon and other states, Colorado, they brought in billions of dollars themselves, as well as Oklahoma.
They were saying a lot of the recreational states, the longer established recreational states, we're bringing in more of the money now than the medicinal ones were.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to speak here, but it's...
Illinois is, they are somebody to be looking out for. They... are now, that's an emerging market. They hit their largest dollar gain in the year 2020 by rising $785 million, which makes them a $1 billion+ market as well. Now, they went legal the end of the first quarter of last year, I think. So they only had 3 quarters to do $785 million worth of sales.
They'll be a $1 billion a year too.
So yeah,
I didn't see Oklahoma mentioned in there. I know we contributed a billion in there, so...
Absolutely. We definitely contributed somewhere in here. I'll get with the people over at... I won't mention the name of the magazine there, but we'll get with them and we'll make sure that they start adding us in a different...
Right.
Here's another good one.
This is a great one.
This is a feel-good one, I think.
I like this guy.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen, bringing his cannabis brand...
Hi, I'm Seth Rogen, and if you know anything about me at all, I'm going to assume it's that I really love weed. But what you probably don't know about me is that I have been working on my own weed company for the last 10 years, and we are finally ready to launch in America. It's called Houseplant, and what we're doing is bringing you the best strains of weed that have been hand-picked, and by that I mean hand-smoked, by me.
Well, it's releasing in California, but it's going to be here.
Okay, so they're out of...
Toronto. They're a Toronto-based company.
Okay.
Yep. The name of it is Houseplant.
Houseplant.
I love the name. That's great.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. And it's some pretty good looking...
Oh, it's some fire looking bud. The stuff he has here is... he's got Pineapple Express and Knocked Up. Well, excuse me.
Yeah, that's his movies.
It's the Pancake Ice. His Pancake Ice Sativa. They're testing it over 33%, and it just looks beautiful. Super frosty. I want to try it.
So here is the thing that caught my attention about this, and I'm starting to notice a little bit of a trend here, that his company is partly owned by Canopy Growth Corporation, which is one of the big growth corporations. Now, a lot of people have a problem with this because these big corporations, marijuana corporations, they're coming into the U.S. and they're snatching up all of these smaller brands and then running everybody out. Yeah. So a lot of people have a problem with these bigger brands. Like Canopy, but at the same time, a lot of these celebrity endorsed brands are signing up. They are snatching them up. So you had like people like other than Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart and who knows,
2 more great people. Can we get like everybody over here? I want to hang out with all of them.
Yeah, I want to hang out with them for sure.
Smoke some.
But it is what it is.
We'll come to you.
Yeah. Big congratulations, Mindy Kaling. I don't even know who she is. Do you?
No.
Yeah. Anyway, I won't even say it. She says congratulations to him though on the Twitter.
I was gonna say congratulations too, man. I'm looking forward. Bring it to Oklahoma, man. Please bring it to Oklahoma.
Well, see, but that's where you're gonna run into some disagree because it's owned by the big company and you're pushing out the small guys. What are your thoughts on that?
Come to Oklahoma and smoke some Oklahoma weed. That's what I say, Seth.
Well, I think you can bring your brand here, but
I agree with not having big corporations in it.
Yeah, bring your brand here, but utilize the people that are here.
Yeah,
like utilize the people that are in those states. You can still grow your weed, your genetics, your everything, but utilize the growers that are here and utilize the people that are here because there is Oklahoma. Marijuana today is not like Oklahoma marijuana, and
even 2 years ago.
Yeah. So, but you know what? That's the same to be said for every state. That's what happens when you go, legal, whether it's medicinally or recreational. You've got time and effort to put into lights and things like that.
But back to the big corporation, the thing that worries me is if they come in, they've got the money to push everybody else out.
Yeah.
They could come in and lowball everybody on prices, push out the regular people, and then when we're all gone, they're going to raise the prices back up. They will.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. And the fact that it's just not owned locally.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, you have a lot of people out there who sunk their whole life savings into
and these big companies are going to come in and make money, and they're not going to put back into these communities here.
No, not at all. Yeah, which has already been proven in other states. Yeah. So it is what it is. Well, here's the big story that I mentioned at the top of the news was Eaze.
It's not on Easy Street no more.
They ain't on Easy Street. So Eaze is a payment processing company. They are an electronic payment processing company, and they are they went to trial on the 1st of March. We're going to keep you up to date more on how this goes, but they went to trial March 1st starting. They were out in California, and basically what they were doing is doing money laundering. Yeah. They were going into dispensaries, setting up payment processing companies, disguising what you were purchasing as the
non-cannabis related
patient product, or the customer.
Yep.
And they were disguising that transaction as a non-cannabis product.
Yep.
Well, in doing so, you were committing bank fraud because Visa and MasterCard, as well as the other major banks, say no, you cannot do that. It's a matter of the transparency.
Yep.
Here's the kicker. There are some banks and credit unions in the country that will do cannabis transactions.
Yes.
So you didn't have to go about doing this illegally.
Yeah.
You could have done it the right. Yeah.
Hiding the truth.
So I was reading through here, and
this is gonna be a tough.
It's gonna be a heck of a deal. So basically, what happened is there was 3 business partners. Yeah. One of them resigned in 2019. Now, this is probably shortly around the time that things were starting to get thick.
Yeah, they realized things were going south quick.
Yeah. So he resigned, and then he started working with the prosecutor because they came at him with bank fraud charges. And so he started working with the prosecutor. He ended up pleading guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to commit bank fraud, where the others are facing bank fraud charges, which I know from experience, the bank fraud carries 7 years per fraud. 7 years. That's the maximum per.
So this guy would be spending life.
Well,
extended lives.
Probably not. Depends on, your criminal record. Federal sentencing is different, but they were able to do Eaze Technologies that was operating out of there was able to do over $100 million in credit and debit card transactions.
Wow, that's a lot of transactions.
$100 million. Mm-hmm. Think about that.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So is there any repercussions, I wonder, for these dispensaries who are using this? Or is this all falling just on them too?
I would imagine that there will, because there is some repercussions if they knowingly did it.
Right.
Right? Because the knowing part, when the intent, that's hard to prove. That you're having to say that they knowingly sided with these individuals, with Eaze Technologies, to commit the fraud and disguise the transaction.
That could have been part of their sales pitch. Hey, look, we could get away with it this way because it doesn't show up as a cannabis transaction. Because I've literally heard that in dispensaries in Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
They've come in and say, we can do credit card sales for
I've heard that from payment processing companies.
And I look at it and I'm I'm pretty sure that's laundering, right?
Yeah.
Fraud?
That's straight money laundering, yeah. That's almost the definition. When you're hiding where money is coming and washing it. Yeah, that's... Anyways. So we'll keep you up to date on that one. That one's going to be an interesting...
extended story.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to follow up with that. They just went to trial on the 1st, so we'll see how it works out.
Wah, wah, wah.
This is a big one. Chuck Schumer.
Hi, I'm Chuck Schumer, Democratic Senator of New York, Minority Leader of the Senate. And here is my friend and fellow Brooklynite. So we have two Democratic leaders here who are intent on decriminalizing marijuana. And Hakeem's working in the House, I'm working in the Senate, and we're working hard on this. And we're among the first. I think I was the first congressional leader of either party to come out in favor of the ending the federal prohibition on marijuana.
Chuck Schumer says that that legalization is a priority for Democrats, and they're on their bold agenda for change. He said that he sent out a fundraising email this last week. He sent it out and to all of everybody, and he said, "Hey, this is marijuana legalization is a big bold change that we intend to have happen." Yeah. So I like that.
I like obviously. Also, it's not only that. He's like, after we take care of that, I want reform on the laws.
Yeah. He says the next thing is criminal justice reform, and voters agree. He says that voters in 4 more states this election voted to legalize adult recreational use of marijuana, and that proves once again it's past time to work and undo the harms done by misplaced priorities, and it's time to decriminalize marijuana nationally.
Woohoo!
I can get behind that.
I can.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people can.
Going back to kind of something we talked about a little bit last week was we talked a little bit about just the fact that this is the one thing that I think both people on both sides of the aisle, doesn't matter, or maybe you're not even on the side of the aisle, maybe you're in the middle of the aisle, like an independent, and I think this is something that everybody can get behind.
Agree on. Yeah. There's just a lot more benefit from it.
Absolutely.
Pros and cons, right? You do the pros and cons list, and they're like, well, damn, the pros are really filled up, and there's like just a couple cons.
Just a couple cons. You remember that episode of Friends?
Man, I was not a Friends person. I didn't watch
What?
Friends. Yeah.
Shut up.
I didn't, yeah. I still don't. Like, I've tried to watch it a couple times, and I'm like, this is
Hold
just corny.
the phone.
Yeah. No.
Are you serious?
I'm dead ass, man. Yep.
Well, I can't even say the references then.
Yeah,
because you wouldn't
do it anyway. Our watchers probably would.
Our
a lot of people,
audience.
I don't know. Yeah. Audience.
You act like they're peep showing us.
You act like they're live.
Great point.
So let's hear the reference. They all want to know too, I'm sure.
Well, the reference was, you said the pros and cons list.
Yeah.
And Ross.
I know. Yeah.
He wrote a pros and cons list about Rachel.
I think I do remember seeing that.
And he was like, he had the pros and cons of between anyway, so that you gotta Ross the situation is what I was gonna say. You gotta Ross it, but you didn't get it, so it doesn't matter. All right, moving on. Well, Israeli doctors give CBD to serious COVID-19 patients, and they actually get some good positive results.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with this story.
I like it.
Great story. Here's the problem. I'm a little wishy-washy on the results piece. a little wishy-washy.
Well, why is that?
You got about a 70% success rate here
Like
out of 11 people.
patients.
So basically, let's take a step back. Before we tell the results.
Rewind.
They're saying that in Israel they gave CBD to calm inflammation and other aspects and other symptoms that came with coronavirus.
With the vid.
Now, I don't know if you've had coronavirus.
No.
I got the coronavirus, and I had a very mild case of the vid. Okay, very mild.
Good.
It felt like a really bad cold. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I stayed home. Obviously, I quarantined. We did all that.
Oh yeah, I stayed away from you too. I was even scared to come up here. I was like, should I?
No,
disinfect
I was
everything?
at home.
Yeah, I know. I was like, how long have you had the vid though before you knew? So.
Well, I never came to
out.
work. It was the holidays. Came from holidays straight into vid.
Oh man.
That was during Thanksgiving. But my point to this is that CBD could help. I mean, because you got headaches, you got swelling, muscle aches,
Right.
trouble sleeping. That was on the mild side, so CBD could help with a lot of
Yeah,
that
it
stuff.
seems like
Yeah. Well, in Israel, they gave it to 11 patients, and out of the 11 patients, 8 of them were released from the hospital in 7 to 30 days.
All right. About the standard time for COVID to run its course.
Standard time. And the other 3 patients died.
Oh.
So, I mean, I'm not laughing at anybody's death, but I'm saying that your study is a little. I think you need to do some more studies on this.
At least a lot more people.
Yeah, because that's not okay.
And so it's like have CBD and let COVID run its course, or die from the vid.
Well, my point's that, yeah, I mean, you had great effort going into an A for effort. You went into this study, you tried to get everything up and going, but the problem is that you only did it with 11.
And you probably should have done like 1,100.
Yeah. Because those results sound horrible.
Do you think they were like, well, instead of doing 1,100, why don't we just do 11 and then we'll multiply it by 100?
No, I'm sure that's exactly what they were saying. And then they come out with this phoniness that says 70%. Like, well, that's not really
70% of 5% of the people that were tested.
Yeah, no, that's
that had the Rona.
70% of the 0.2% of people that were tested
that had Rona
in the country that had. Yeah, like, come on, get real.
That was a good start.
Yeah, it just goes to prove that you got to be careful with these studies, because and I know we've talked about this in some past shows that they're studying for cannabis and CBD is typically bad results. But it just goes to show that you got to be cautious about some of these studies, because if you go looking for a result, you're going to find that result.
Yeah.
Period. You're going to find the results. But how did you obtain the results? That's the important piece.
Exactly.
You found 11 people and 3 of them died, and the other 8 got out within 7 to 30 days. Well, congratulations, they had COVID and got over it.
Yeah, because it's about
how do you contribute?
2 week for it to run a course. What were you?
Yeah, I was down for about 2.5 weeks.
Yeah,
and the CDC says now, and again, what it is what it is, but the CDC says
rubbing off on you
that it's 10 days.
Okay.
From the time you start showing symptoms, you need to be by yourself in quarantine for 10 days, or you are good to go and you no longer have to quarantine if you show no symptoms or improved symptoms for 24 to 48 hours.
Wow.
So if I had COVID, but it was good for 7 days, and then on day 8 and 9 I showed 0 symptoms, I can be out and about. Go back to work. I don't have to go get retested. That's according to the CDC.
Well, and they also say we should wear 2 masks too now, right?
Yeah, double bag it.
2 masks is even more preventative. No. Like, I wanted to cuss right there. Like, no. Really? So what? You're telling me
2 masks.
Let me guess, 4 masks were twice as good as 2 masks.
That's right. That would be correct.
Oh, Lord. Can we get on to the big story, man? I want to hear this one.
Well, this is your story.
Oh, yeah. I forgot it already.
Just read it right there, buddy. It's right in front of you.
Died. No, I'm just kidding. I know you're looking at it. Whatever. So Jay-Z's cannabis brand, Monogram, has come out with some controversial packaging.
Okay.
Basically, they're just calling out the antiquated laws that we have in our country behind cannabis.
So the antiquated, meaning the old.
I might have used too big of a word for myself.
Well, that's probably true, Buzz. That is probably true.
So basically what it gets down to, some of his packaging, the things they say on there, they're just an all-black packaging with some smoke behind it, and it says you can marry your first cousin in more states and you can buy recreational weed.
Yeah.
So it's basically just like, hey, come on, it's about time, let's change these laws.
Let's change the laws. Here's my favorite. Weed is a federal crime even in the states where sex with farm animals isn't.
Right.
Why are people upset about this?
I don't know.
This is the truth.
They should be upset about our laws, our cannabis laws.
There's a state in America where cannibalism is technically legal and cannabis isn't.
Yeah.
Why are you pissed off that his brand is calling out these hypocrisies when really you should be trying to figure out what state is it that allows cannibalism and outlaw that shit?
Yeah. Hey, I could have said that.
I know, I'm sorry. I got a little off. If you use a flamethrower to light a joint, you'll be arrested in 17 states, but not for the flamethrower.
That's awesome. Yeah, these get better. The war on drugs worked if systematic racism was the goal.
There you go. It's illegal to fly with your AK-47 in checked luggage. The weed, not the gun.
That's true, though. You just have to let them know.
You can't check an AK-47, and it can't be loaded.
Yeah.
You can check an AK-47 and drive around with it.
The legal term for bribing a politician is often called lobbying. The legal term for possession of weed is often called a felony. Whoa, that's probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
shout out to you, Jay-Z.
So here's a big thing. I'm going to be 100% honest. When I heard that Jay-Z had a cannabis brand, I was like, man, this is,
Here we go.
Yeah. Here's another celebrity. Yeah. All these celebrities, they want to cash in on it. Everybody's rushing to it. They want to cash in on it.
They don't care about the industry or the people.
They don't care about the industry. They don't care about the people. They don't care about making the change. It's an opportunity for them to cash in on it, and that's
use their name.
And use their name, and everybody will flock to them because they're a celebrity, right?
Right.
If Snoop Dogg today came out with a meth brand, you'd have a bunch of meth heads running to it.
You'd have a bunch of previous meth heads going, I told you so.
I'm serious. It's the truth.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
It is true, though. You're right.
And so they don't care. They don't care about the community
when
here.
They have the opportunity in the ways they really should be.
So when I first heard that Jay-Z was doing that, I was like, well, here we go. But this campaign that he's doing here has changed my beliefs on it, because he is calling out these things, and this is good. Awesome. This is important. You're actually trying to do some change rather than just come in and make some money.
Yeah.
If you're listening to, and if any of you other celebrities are listening,
Jay-Z, give us a like.
Like us.
Like us if you like us.
Yeah. So that's pretty good, man.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. I really like.
That was great. I think that was great marketing. Way to go.
Yeah. I think we should look into doing something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Who knows?
Well, that's it, guys. That was your top headlines for this last week.
Top shelf.
Your top shelf headlines.
Yeah.
That was your top shelf headlines.
Your dose of top shelf headlines.
Okay, we've really overplayed that.
Your 100 milligram dose of top shelf headlines. Yeah, see, I confused myself on that one.
Are you okay?
No, I'm alright. I smoked sativa again, man.
Anyways.
Sunday, monster truck rally. Okay, I'm done.
We're cutting that out. So, it was. That's the news.
The headlines.
That was a good news week.
It was.
We got some big news stories coming next week, so I'm excited about that.
I want to see what's going on with the Eaze. I'm ready to hear
the
rest of this.
A lot going on there. You guys make sure to go over there to the Facebook and the Instagram. Make sure you give us a like. If you're on Facebook, do us a favor, which is probably where you're seeing this. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think. What do you guys think about the Eaze criminal case? Do you guys think that it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? Do you think that more dispensaries should take credit card processing and get away from cash? Do you think it'd be easier for you? You let us know. And have you been into a dispensary that uses a card you can pay with your card?
Yeah,
that would be interesting. Let us know that as well. So, but if you're feeling really good and you definitely love some exclusive content, once you scroll back up to the top of that Facebook page, hit that Become a Supporter page our button, and get yourself some exclusive content.
Get that recognition.
You get a supporter badge. You get to come over into an exclusive Facebook group. You get behind the scenes content. You do story recommendations, exclusive giveaways, discounts on all products and everything else like that. It's
free digital amazing. Copy of the magazine.
Free digital month. Copy every single month of the magazine. Here's March's issue. You got to be green and lucky.
Yeah, happy St.
Smoke
Patty's
some
Day
green and get lucky.
Woo-hoo.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Smoke some green.
That'll be next week's show.
Yeah.
But that's really all we got for you this week. So, like us if you like us, share us if you share us, comment us if you comment us, and you stay you, and I'll stay me.
And there's abundance of lots of things in this world, but there's one thing the world always is going to need a lot more of, and that's love people. So get out there and show your neighbors some love, show a stranger some love, spread some love, just not the Rona.
Boom.
Boom.